welcome to Miss Annette's little farm in the big city. Before we get too far into today's video, I wanted to stop for a second and apologize. I want to apologize because my videos have not been uploaded in a timely manner. I'm having some trouble with downloading my media to my computer, and it's not doing it in time for me to get enough time to edit it, to get it out on my Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday schedule. So I'm working on it, guys, and I just wanted to apologize for that. So I would say, just if you're looking for a video on Tuesday and it's not on Tuesday, or the Sunday videos on Monday, I'm trying to get back on schedule. I really am, but it's kind of out of my control until I can figure out how to get all these technical things done. Okay, so I'm really sorry. Turn on your notifications, that way when I do download videos or upload videos, you'll know right away, okay? Love you. It's getting later and later, the mornings are. It's getting harder and harder to get around because the sun gets up later and it's colder out, and I like to stay in my snuggly pajamas. But here we are, another beautiful day on the little farm. So how are you? I hope you're having a wonderful day. I really do. So, we get the animals up, and then Mr. Steve and I are going to go vote. We have early voting in Indiana now, so we're going to go vote. And then you and I are going to work on a couple of things. Well, I have everybody up. I combed my hair. It's still a little bit chilly, but like I said, we have a lot of things to do today. And one of them is going to take me all day, probably. I need to put my daffodil bulbs in the ground. I live in central Indiana, and we put our bulbs in the ground in the fall. We also plant our garlic in the fall, and we'll be doing that pretty soon too. So stay tuned. Anyway, I purchased some daffodil bulbs online, and I found some on sale, so I have about 160 bulbs to plant today. That's not really a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. I've seen people plant thousands and thousands of them, but we're going to plant our bulbs, and sorry, that was a squirrel. It made a strange noise. It scared me. So we'll be planting our bulbs in the ground today. Now the animals, I'll let them out, but right now Brownie is out here sunning himself, so I want him to have some outside time too. So that's the way that goes around here. Let's go get our stuff so I can show you what I have. Now, as I plant my bulbs, I'll be doing this gentle little squish like this. Squeeze, squeeze. And if they're mushy, they're not going to be any good. I want them to be nice and hard when I plant them in the ground. When you plant them in the ground, if you look at the daffodils, you'll see that there's some dried up roots there. That's what you want. You want this towards the bottom of your hole and this towards the top. So this is the top and this is the bottom. So when you plant them in your hole, you'll be planting them like that. Now, let's talk a little bit about fertilization of your daffodil bulbs as you put them in the ground. Now, I have tried it both ways, with fertilizer and without. And I've tried it with the fertilizer in the ground with the bulb, and come to find out that is not good for you to do that. It's good for you to mix the fertilizer with the soil that you're using to cover up your bulbs. We're going to be using a little bit of compost from the compost pile to cover up the bulbs when we plant them in the soil, which will give them a little bit of fertilizer, but not too much. Use my wheelbarrow. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. It's so beautiful. And if you look at it in the light, it's a deep, deep green. Beautiful. All right, the sooner we get started with this, the sooner we're finished. It's back-breaking work for an old lady like me, but we're gonna do it. I think that auger is gonna really help. I have a drill bit that I bought. It's an auger, and this will help me to dig in the ground to put my tulip bulbs in. I keep saying tulip bulbs, daffodil bulbs. I don't plant tulips. I love tulips. I think they're beautiful, and I wish I could plant them. The squirrels here like them as much as I do, and then they dig them up and eat them all winter long, and then I only get 1 or 2 tulips. My garden journal. Let's talk about this a little bit. Now, this is my spring when I planted all those new plants that I got. I believe I have one from fall when I planted daffodils last year. I have 130, so I'm going to write that. I'm also going to write daffodil 2024 160 bulbs. So I kind of have it figured out. I'm going to put 20 in the herb garden. I'm going to start there because it's the smallest space of all the gardens, and I think I can fit 20 in there. So I have an idea of where I want to put my holes. I have my compost ready. I've got my drill ready. Let's get to work. Now this spring, this will be full of daffodils. Now that I have them all planted, I'm going to give them a good soaking. I'm going to water all of them, and then I'm not going to water them for the rest of the season. Just water them once, give them a good soaking, and they'll be fine for the rest of the season until spring. And then when we come back in the spring, we're going to have all these beautiful daffodils everywhere. It's going to be beautiful. Well, there we go. That was fun. I'm so excited about it. And I'm excited that, you know, once spring gets here, this is going to be flowers everywhere. It's weird to be thinking about spring already when if I feel like we were just doing spring and now we're talking about spring in the future, not in the present. So weird. So weird. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by today and visiting me. It means the world to me. It really does. You are so amazing and so special, especially to me. Thank you. Thank you for visiting me here on Miss Annette's little farm in the big city. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. Get outside today if you can, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Love you. Hey. You guys okay? Just being quiet, huh? Okay. Everybody is just relaxing. What's going on? Oh, baby.